Hi, my previous video show how to we enable the Shopify data layer, also how to connect we Shopify with Google Tag Manager, and how to we set up the Google Analytics for all of this necessary event for e-commerce like view item, add to cart, view cart, begin checkout, purchase. So actually we done the browser side tracking. So now we're gonna share how to we enable how to we set up server side tracking. So how to set up server-side tracking, how to we create a server-side container in Google Tag Manager, and how to we create the server hosting container like Stripe or Google Cloud, I mean another any container, and then how to we implement the server-side tracking in using Google Tag Manager server container, and also how to we send this data according to Google Analytics for requirement. So in this video I show how to set up Google Analytics for server-side tracking. So it's simple if you understand, I mean, one thing. So how do we actually management in server? Then we will be send this data from like Facebook, Google, and others advertising platform and analysis platform. So what is the difference actually? The browser set tracking and server set tracking, right? So if we set up the browser set tracking, and you see in here, if we set up the browser set tracking, and in there like someone visit in our website, so someone visit in our website, browser directly send this data like Google, Facebook, and others advertising platform. But according to GDPR new rules, and Chrome and Safari browser and others like and ad blocker and others every, I mean, comprehensive tracking tools, comprehensive OS tools like ad ad blockers and third party cookie block Chrome, and also so iOS 14 update after, we not available to send this data every time. I mean, ad blocker block this data. That's why we not directly send this data in Google Tag Manager Analytics. I mean, advertising and analysis platform. So if we set up this data if we not able to set up this data directly our website to like Google Analytics, Google Ads, and Facebook Ads, so we have to send this data fast in a server, and then we send this data through this server in our platform. If you see this, if you see the image, you understand easily. So our old, I mean, normal browser set client set tracking, which is we set up just we set up just using Google Tag Manager, and Google someone visit our website and directly send this cookie in a cookie in analytics and Facebook and Google Ads. But right now, the according to GDPR rules, we not available to send this data directly in Google Ads Analytics and, I mean, others advertising and analysis platforms. So we have to send this data first in a server, and then server to we send this data the our advertising platform. And here is the benefits of the server side tracking, like reduce impact on page speed, and also others benefits. You just see this and understand. So I think you know why we set up the server side tracking, and yeah, you see this and understand more easily. So that's it. So now, so now we create a container, which is we already create a Google Tag Manager web container, and also Google Analytics for property, and also track the purchases in here. So however, so now we have to create a server hosting container, and also Google Tag Manager server container. So if I click Google Tag Manager server container, it's very simple. Go to in here admin, and then admin under, we have to click in here container under the plus icon, and then choose in here. For example, I just copy this name and create a new, and write in here the name, container name. So in this case I write in here server, and then I'm choosing here not web, I am choosing here server. So just create. So now our Google Tag Manager server container is created. So if I click in here, and Google Tag Manager automatically redirect in Google Cloud platform, And but in this case we set up this server side using step, because step first time provide our a 10,000 request, which through we can easily test everything is properly work, right? So I mean step is better for our site. Everyone the maximum user choose in step, but Google Cloud is more better, yeah. So I'm just clicking here manually prevention tracking server, and you see in here your container config is this code. So what I have to do now, right? So is to go to Google Tag Manager and write in here the step.io and search in here, and you see in here the step website, and click in here try it free. I'm clicking here and write in here your email and choose in here global or EU, I mean European Union, and then just sign up and send a mail in your website. And yeah, and then you create an account. But in this case I have already account, just I am clicking here step logo again and write in here my name, my clicking here login, and I'm logging my step account. So it's not more complex, it's easy. So our step container is loading. Yep. So if I click in here, I have a MCC account. I mean, just a second. So create a sub account. So I am creating here a sub account, which is so okay. In this case, I am sure the another method. I mean, directly how do you create a account, right? So, however, I am clicking here a step and then try it free, and now I am clicking here my mail, which is the graceful beauty. If you go to in your mail and also copy this mail and paste in here, choose in here global and then sign up. So if you like in from European Union, then we choose in here European Union. So in this case I'm choosing here global and then sign up. So step send a message in our mail. So I just to go to my mail and I see in here welcome back step message, and then just set password. So I'm choosing here a password. mm, I just save this password and save it, clicking here save, and yep. So our account is create properly, update password, and then here you see I have already one container, but it's not matter. I mean, you just click in here as GTM container, means server GTM container, and then click in here create container, and then write in here your container name. So my container name is GTM server, and then container configuration option we have to paste in here the Google Tag Manager container config ID. Just copy this code. If you remove this and just click in here and see this and then just click in here, yeah, copy this code, and then go to again a step and then paste this code in here, and then choose in here your nearby server. I mean, in this case from my nearby server is like Singapore. So Singapore. So just create container, and then I'm choosing here free, and then I just go back from here. So back step container. Yep. So my server hosting container is properly, I mean step container is properly create. So now I have to connect this server step server with my Google Tag Manager server. So hey, this is Abdul Kayium. I can help you grow your business through combining creativity, strategy, and digital channel personalized marketing. and customer experience optimization. I am Google certified expert in Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager, and Google Ads. Our service including e-commerce tracking, Facebook pixel and conversion API, Google Analytics for server-side tracking, Google Ads or Bing Ads conversion tracking, TikTok or Snapchat pixel integration, cookie consent banner implementation, and configuration all of this tag via Google Tag Manager, all with server-side tracking. I am happy to help you grow your business with my expertise. I work with clients from various industries such as e-commerce, real estate, education, and sales. If you have any question or would like work with me, feel free to send a message. Your satisfaction is my first priority. So now I just copy this domain name and then go to Google Tag Manager Server Container and click in here admin. So admin under, I have to click in here the container settings, and I will see in here the server container URL. So just click in add URL and paste in here the URL. So just save it. So now our Google Tag Manager server container and also our step server container is connected. So if I go to in here and yeah, I just reload this and you see in here okay, I mean how do we verify this, right? And you see in here the running right now our server. So now our step and Google Tag Manager server container is connected. So now we have to set up this tag. So it's very simple. Go to Google Tag Manager and go to Google Tag Manager web container, and then and just a second, it's simple. The Google Tag Manager is loading, just a second. And click in here tag under, we seen here we already implement the Google Analytics for base code in our website. So if you not set up this, you just see this previous video and you understand how to set up this Google Tag Manager base code. So just it's simple. Go click in here the GA4 config ID, I mean base code ID, and add in here configuration settings under add parameter, and then write in here like server container URL and paste in here your st server container this URL. Just copy this URL and go to Google Tag Manager web container and paste this URL in here, and then also like send face view and write in here true. So that's it, our server side is done actually. So just we have to do in couple of things in here, like we have to create a subdomain and also implement this subdomain, and we also use a custom loader for ad blocker bypass. So just click in here like preview and also click in the server, go to the server which is this one. Okay, this is server. Just click in here workspace, and this is loading our web container, and just click in here connect, and also as well as I am preview my server site server container and click in here preview, and you see in here just a second. So our Google Tag Manager server container is connecting. Yeah, so this is connected with Google Tag Manager preview mode, and also our Google Tag Manager browser container is connected with Google our website. So if I click in here this product, and you see in here the view item event is fired, just a second. Okay, and just add to cart and reload this page. And if I go to Google Tag Manager server container preview mode, and you see in here the server container view item event is fire event is fast and properly, right? So that is the way, I mean that is the thing. That's mean if you see our Google Tag Manager server container the view item tag is fire properly, I mean our face view, I mean any request in send our Google Tag Manager server container, that's mean our server container connected and properly, I mean it's properly we connected. So if I go to now our server container get this event. Now we have to send this event using Google Tag Manager server container, I mean server side. So we have to now send this data from server side. So go to Google Tag Manager and go to Google Tag Manager server container. So just click near new, and then sorry, go to tag under click in here new, and then new tag Google Analytics for event, GA4 event, and then paste in here your measurement ID. Just go to Google Analytics, click in here admin under data stream, and click in the data stream, copy this measurement ID, go to Google Analytics for server side and just paste in here the measurement ID, and then choose in here trigger, and then create a new trigger which is a custom event, some event, and here choose in built-in variable, the client name, contain, not contain, here you select in here equal GA4. I'm explaining you why we choose in here GA4. So just write in here GA4 all event, and then save it. So we choose in here the GA4 trigger because just a second, I just write in here GA4 all tag, okay, and then save it. We choose in here GA4 trigger because we send all of this tag from Google Analytics 4, Google Tag Manager browser set container, right? We send this everything in Google. We send the data from server side using GA4. So that's why if I click in here client, when this is received in the data from server side, you see in here the GA4 receive this all of this data. So that's why we just receive this data through the client GA4, and then we passed all of this data using the Google Tag Manager tag, I mean GA4 tag in Google Tag Manager. So just so, and then now go to your Google Tag Manager browser container, and then click in here preview, and also as well as go to your Google Tag Manager server container and click in here preview, and then connect with our website with Google Tag Manager browser debug view and server debug view. So our Google Tag Manager debug view with our website is connected, and you see in here the and see the server side container debug view, the page view event is fire. So that's mean the phase view event is fire in Google Tag Manager server container. So it's properly set up. So now we have to like create, we just create in click in any product and like add to cart, and also and add to cart. And if I go to back and our website, and you see in here the view item event and also add to cart event is superly fire. And if I go to our Google Tag Manager server container preview mode, and we see in here the view item event, and we click in here request, and we see the request receive in client and outgoing in analytics.google.com, also the add to cart event same. If I go to the Google Tag Manager debug view, and we see in here the add to cart, I think already passed, just a second. Yep, we see in here the view item event is passed on our Google Tag Manager, Google Analytics 4, and also the item, value, currency, each and everything properly passed. So I purchased this product, is in here, purchase this product. So now if I go to Google Tag Manager preview mode, and we see in here the begin checkout event, also fire, and Google begin checkout properly passed on also the Google Tag Manager server container. Yep, the begin checkout event properly fast on Google Tag Manager server container, and from server container to the begin checkout event, as well as passed on our Google Analytics 4. So if I click in here, you see the begin checkout event, also the value and the item, all of this item and currency. I mean everything is in everything. So and now we have to see our purchase event is fast or not fast in Google Tag Manager, right? Google Analytics, right? So if I click in here and you see in here I already purchased this product, and also I scroll up and we see in here the purchase event is fire on also. This is detailed according to our Google Analytics for requirement. And then the tag is fire, and I go to the server container preview mode, and you see in here the purchase event also fire. And yeah, this is the first purchase event claim in GA4 client, and outgoing is Google Analytics 4. So there here all of this data, also date, expire date, everything. So I am go to the Google Tag Manager property debugging mode, and you see in here the purchase event properly passed on Google Analytics 4 from our Google Analytics server container. And also if I click in here, you see in here the shipping, tax, transaction ID, value, and the item, currency. I mean everything is properly passed on Google Analytics 4 from our Google Tag Manager server set container. So that's it. My next video I'm gonna show. So my next video I'm gonna show, just a second, I go to my, yep. So we create already server container, we connect this server container with a step and send this all of this data fast Google Tag Manager browser side container to Google Tag Manager server side container, and then Google server side container to we send this data Google Analytics and others. I mean we send like Google Ads, Facebook Ads, and others necessary tools. So and I am my next video I'm going to show the what are the benefit of subdomain and how do we implement a subdomain, and also I am show what is a custom loader and why use it and how to implement, right? I'm showing here my next video. So just continue. I mean we see the next video and we understand why we using subdomain and how to we set up the subdomain and implement it. So thanks for watching this full tutorial. I think you see this full tutorial, and this is actually hard. And if you see this full playlist from to complete, I mean first video and second video and third video. So if you have to see full video, then you will be understand easily, but if you see like something from here and something from another video, that you will be not understand. I mean this is simple, but you have to see the complete video. That is the that's the meaning. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. So thank you.